Hey, what is going on, you guys? I am James Reptile. Today is the May update slash Reptile Room tour video. Today is officially May 1st as I'm filming this. You can see right there, May 1st. I'm sure it's gonna come out like a week late just because of editing, and I'm actually really lazy. This is gonna be like a full tour. I'm gonna show you a lot of new stuff. I did just come back from the Tulare show. I unfortunately didn't film that. I was helping a friend, Elon, at Diamond Reptiles and Supplies, and I was just super busy. So I did buy a couple things. I did regret buying a couple things. That's usually why I don't buy things at the expos. But I'm gonna start in this corner. We'll kind of go around and talk about everything that's going on, everything that's new in the reptile room. So let's get right into it. So right here, I'm gonna feed 2 snakes later. I'll probably film that at the end of the video. I know people enjoy that, but this is your trigger warning. If that piece of tape fell. And I'll explain that in a second too. So right there, you can tell I obviously have some mice. I came back to the show with a couple random mice. There's like a brown hairless, a regular hairless, and a regular like silvery mouse. There was another one that passed away for no particular reason. If you guys know, I do work with a mouse breeder, so I know how to care for mice. It just passed away. Sometimes mice do that. But the real important thing are these bad boys. And I gotta do something there because that top one's denting in. But these are 15 beautiful eggs from my Vietnamese Blue Beauty pair, which is right here. There's the male. There is the male. He is gorgeous. Alright, next up on the chopping block, the leopard geckos. So, a lot of people know I did just sell a bunch to a guy out in Florida. So these are all breeders, and this is all that's left of the season. Yellow tags being shipped out on Tuesday. These two are the first ones that were laid. This is just a regular snow, pos het albino, I suppose, or het albino, because that's an albino snow. So that was a normal to a super snow, so everything should be snow, and that's an albino, which means Malloy was het albino. It just means a lot of bad things. Luckily that whole group I was planning on wholesaling because I'm not even 100% sure they're max snows, so those are just gonna be like wholesale to pet stores. I'm gonna take an L on those. The whole first project, all these red ones at the top here, so this was gonna be last year for him anyway, so it is what it is. Black Knight Eclipse female is in with the male. She wasn't eating. She hasn't laid any this season. It's her first year. So I gave her some time off for the male, and I just put him back in. So I'm really hoping possibly see a clutch of eggs from them this year. That would be just stellar. To come back up real quick, we did hatch out a bunch of our crested gecko eggs. As you guys know, we had a bunch, and a bunch hatched out, which means I have a couple lily whites for sale, a couple babies. You can find those on my Instagram, but except for this tub with the snake who needs a bigger hide and keeps flipping his water dish, all these tubs are just extra crested gecko tubs that I just didn't have room for on the rack. Those, I gotta end up doing something with those. And we come around the mealworm rack. If I tear everything down real quick, bunch of empty tubs. We're getting there. We're slowly getting there. So we're no longer making any beetles, and the beetles will slowly die, and then we won't have mealworms anymore. Now, that was the last video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you understood that I didn't make a video to tell you I was breeding mealworms and then just take it back just cause. It just worked out that way. Mealworms are still a great way for you guys to save money and you know, always have feeders on hand for yourselves. But in my case, it no longer makes sense. Up here, we have my other regret purchase from the expo. And it's 2 day geckos. Look, there they are. About to kiss or something. Save somebody some money on insurance. Turn the heat bulb off. So this is just a temporary little enclosure. And I bought these for $50 a piece. Just an impulse buy. Somebody I know was like, full send, do it. So I was like, alright, yeah. So I did it. And now I have these 2 geckos. But it's okay because they're actually already sold to somebody I work with. I'm just selling them for 50 bucks a piece. That's what I got them for. And I got it on my system, and I was feeding them little dubia. With that being said, snakes are still snake, but in the incubator we're getting tons of eggs, and I think if we get in here, we have a couple little friends. So, oh yeah, these were some of the first eggs of the season. Looks like they were laid on 3-2. I think those actually were the first eggs of the season, even though we've had, well, you guys see 2 geckos right here, but you notice they're number 3 and 4 of this year already. 1 and 2 were laid, and they were, let me tell you the more. I can't remember what project they were from because I already sold them at the label, but oh, they were 3.5C, I believe, which is that one. So what they were snow, black knight outcross, patternless het eclipse, and snow, black knight outcross, eclipse het patternless. The guy who bought all the geckos is like, hey, do you have any more? And I was like, I have these 2 babies that are like 3 days old. He's like, I'll take them. Weather was actually really perfect. I'm comfortable shipping newborn babies. I've done it before. It's not really a big deal. I knew that they were eating, so it was cool. Shipped them. He got them. Everything was great. So here we have 2 more geckos, and that right there is potentially a $400 gecko. But that one is a deformed gecko. Poor little guy. Really beautiful orange spot on the head, but the eyelids are all deformed, which is not the best thing. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm not holding him very tight, just enough. But you can see the eyelids are kind of crinkled. That's definitely a deformity. So let's take a look at the parents. That's from 2D. So 2D is a Super Snow radar, white and yellow, to a white and yellow radar. So everything should be snow, white and yellow radar. That's going to confirm that that is a snow, because that's a Super Snow. Is it? I don't know. Who knows? We'll find out at a later date. So that's kind of upsetting. I guarantee you that's from the dad. The dad has extra skin, I think. If you guys seen that video, I was supposed to get a gecko from Urban Gecko, and like the day before they were supposed to ship it, they're like, oh, something happened. We're going to send you our breeder male. And I specifically told them I didn't want one with extra skin, and they sent me one with extra skin. So that was great. But you can see definitely some eyelid stuff, but you can see some solid eye. This is a raptor. Pretty bright coloring. Like I said, that orange spot on the head is pretty actually bright. Alright, this guy is going to be our snow, white, and yellow radar. Possible Super Snow. That's the only gene I can think that would, like, this is probably a normal, and that's probably a Super Snow, because just a snow wouldn't cause complete color loss. Like, that one gene wouldn't do that. But looking at the nose, it doesn't quite look like a Super Snow. Let's see if I can zoom it in here, or focus it, I should say. Probably not, because GoPro. But yeah, that's a really nice animal. These are temp sex females. That one's going to be on a discount for sure. If anyone's interested in that animal, do hit me up. We can hold it for a couple weeks, make sure it's eating really good. But this one is going to get fed really well. Not that they don't, but I want to get that one really nice. And that's going to be a really nice animal. That's going to be a rack right there. Not a rack as in 1,000, but help me buy a new rack. I did actually also buy an AC. So what's going to happen is a hose is going to go back behind there, connect to the window. And right here where the heater was, I'm going to put an AC. And that's basically because we usually set our house to 76 in the summer. On the AC, but when no one's home, a lot of times it just gets left off, and for some reason this monster incubator likes to go above 85. It'll start going up to, like, it'll hit 90 if I let it. That and a lot of the crested geckos don't need to be that warm. So I figure I'll buy it once this year, $300, and that'll kind of be it, and I can just take it out of the garage whenever summer comes. Same with the heater. The heater's going to go in the garage soon. As soon as I'm sure there's going to be no more cold days, I'm going to put it up nice and high where there can't be any rats, because for some reason we have rats in our garage. I don't know if it's just the area, but yeah, not a good time. So there are those 2 geckos. I'll put those guys away in just a minute. And the last new thing, not even a new thing, but the dupia colony is actually doing really good. I was feeding some off. Like I said, I was feeding the day geckos the other day, but I was just in here and there's just tons of babies, and I was like, this is pretty awesome. I'll take out this old carrot. That carrot's from today. This one, old. Colony's doing really great. I still don't take a whole lot. You can see in there, there's just tons of dubia in there. I will feed these snakes, and maybe I'll show you guys how I put the baby geckos away. Let's feed some snakes. Oh, I put the tape on the egg box just because there was holes in it, and I didn't want to lose humidity. But I fed all the snakes last night, and this one didn't eat, and it just, I don't know. I figured I'd feed it today, but it's really gross, so I'm gonna go change the water balls. All right. Ooh, this chair makes a lot of noise. One of the things I like to do when feeding my snakes is I like to let the rodents thaw in the room. What I've learned is that kind of just gets a lot of the snakes, not always all of them, but it gets a lot of the snakes in the mood to eat because they smell the rodents like almost all day, honestly. And let's see if I can, she usually doesn't eat off the tongs. She likes it when I leave them up on the top of her hide. But shoot, maybe after last night and today? Nope. That's okay. That's okay. I'll just leave it there for her. And of course, this is Mama. Mama laid the eggs just the other day. So she's definitely worn out. Hopefully she eats. I'm gonna leave it in with her if she doesn't want to eat. But she needs to get food in her system. Of course, I don't think it's a big issue, but if she doesn't eat for a couple days, I will give her a bath and clean the whole enclosure so it doesn't smell like eggs. But I had no problem with that last year. As far as I'm aware, that's mostly just a ball python thing, but who's to know for sure? Let's set up some gecko tubs. So what I do for babies is I start with these really thin tubs and make sure they're clean, make sure they have holes drilled in them. Some of mine don't have holes, and I like to weed them out and find them and drill the holes. So I'll take a paper towel, fold it in half. Fits in almost perfect. I guess it is a half sheet of paper towel, but nowadays it's just regular paper towels that size. And then what I'll do is I'll take my water dish, not a whole lot of water, but definitely more than the adults get, because these are okay if they spill it. The adults get really gross. But what I'll actually do is dump a little on the ground extra, just so there's extra moisture in the tub out and about. And I'll leave this cup out with the eggs in it, just so I can make my label. And I'll actually put an extra note on Crinkle Eye that it is Crinkle Eye, so that way in case anyone wants to buy it or anything, it's just super obvious. I don't want to sell a gecko that's deformed without letting somebody know, right? That's just, you don't want to do that. That's not really a good move. It makes you look bad, even though if it is an accident, it definitely makes you look bad. So that's all I'll do. And next week when I go to feed, I'll dump a couple mealworms on the ground. Probably do that for 2 feedings, and then after that, they will start getting a bowl. And once they have a bowl, it'll be some on the ground, couple on the ground, and some in a bowl. That way they kind of learn to get into the bowl to get more. Of course, if they are very small, I just keep letting them eat off the ground. And if the problem continues, I assist feed. But yeah, I think that one's super cool. Obviously, this is awesome gecko too. It's a radar. It's most likely a snow radar. Actually, it has to be a snow radar because Dad is a super snow. So probably most likely what's going on here, and I've had a few seconds to think about it. This is a snow radar, possibly white and yellow, just based on how bright it is for a snow radar. Because it has to be a snow radar. Look at how pissed off it is. Or she is. It should probably be a she. But look at how sad it looks just because the crinkled eyes. It makes it look like it's crying. Very sad. So this one, so that one's probably a snow radar. This one's most likely a white and yellow snow radar or super snow radar. The nose tells me not super snow, but the coloration tells me it has to be, because that can't just be white and yellow, because that's probably white and yellow. But sometimes white and yellow is weird. Maybe that's a super white and yellow. Who's to say? Some people agree that doesn't even exist. But anyway, I'm James Reptiles. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it learned you something. I know there's a lot of nuances and stuff like that. Like, a lot of people might not have noticed the eye crinkle. A lot of people would just assume that the different gene is XYZ, but it might be this. So a lot of things like that. Like I said, the day geckos aren't staying. The mice are just going to be here until the mice pass away. If they have babies, I'm just going to feed the babies off. Yeah, just like that. Everything keeps moving. We are getting another rack just like this very soon, so keep an eye out for that. And yeah, hopefully the videos keep coming, and hopefully you guys enjoy them. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. That definitely helps with the channel. So thank you guys for watching. Have a good one. Peace out.